Not changing.
Hi, I'm Shanice.
Hi, I'm John.
Hi, I'm Afiq.
Hi, I'm Leah, and this is
Zula Chit Chats.
So today we'll be talking about dating younger guys. No,
I don't date guys.
Technically not y'all dating younger guys, but for girls to date younger guys and maybe for guys to date older girls. So for you guys, have you had this experience before or dated anyone before?
Actually, I'm quite sad like that so I don't really date anyone yet. Not at this moment. Not at this moment. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've never dated a younger guy.
I've never dated an older girl.
Huh, really?
Yeah.
You look like the kind that you would date older girls.
Yeah, actually,
Well, I wouldn't mind.
actually that's true. I've never had the opportunity to date an older girl. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
your preference is?
Actually, mine is a window. It's like
Mine's
2 years plus, 2 years minus.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
On Tinder, I search like all the way from 18 to 36.
How
How
old?
are you?
Everybody, how old is John? Please say.
I am 27 this year.
Okay, so you want to date a girl who is 9 years older than you?
For me, age is not so important. It's more like how your mental age is like. It's a bit more of your maturity and how you carry yourself and how you can fit my personality lah. So as long as we're still able to relate and able to be compatible, right? It doesn't really matter.
age, as cliche as it sounds, it's just a number.
Right?
Yeah, so for me, it's more like can we match personality-wise,
Yeah.
goals in life? Because it doesn't mean that if you're older, you're more mature, and if you're younger, you're immature.
Yeah.
It's a bit more of like a traditional kind of concept, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to age, because generally the perception is that age means like she said like more mature and more like ready for life.
I
Only-
almost always date younger guys. It's just because I happen to know them, then they're like, oh, I'm like 22. Then I'm like, help. So it's like, what to do? My preference for age range is like just younger than me by 2-3 years. I okay. I think like what y'all mentioned also lah, the age thing doesn't really matter. And somehow I tend to find younger guys cuter. So it's like, some people always say there's this particular range that you should stick to. Your age divided by 2 plus 7. So that is the minimum. Plus 2
Yeah.
is
Must
4,
be an
minus 1
engineer
is
who
3.
came up
Quick
with
math!
2 plus 2 is 4, minus 1, that's 3, quick math.
Every man's on the block.
Yeah, that's basically how it came up.
Yeah.
So now we've shared some of our preferences, right? You have any
Yes.
experiences that you'd like to share with regards to dating? Older/younger?
I've had dealings with older girls.
Can you stop
Okay,
using the word
listen,
dealing?
I was gonna say, can we like screenshot the last time he used dealings?
I had dealings with
Dealings?
Dealings. I had dealings, okay? I had dealings. It has never been a deciding factor on whether I date them. And like, even though like there definitely are some differences, but differences are not great enough for them to be a factor. I just give you a good example with like dating someone that is the same age as me, and then I dated someone also that was like 2 or 3 years younger than me. Right? So like there is a difference sometimes in some of the conversations and the thing that we talk about, but really not really an issue. Some of the older ladies that I meet up with, right, there is a fun to serious scale that usually happens when we have conversations online. The ladies that are older than me, right, are very high on the serious scale to the point where sometimes it gets a little bit boring. They don't react to humor the way that
yeah.
it gets boring, especially before you even have the chance to meet the person face to face. Online, you're like, what the.
I have like experience with the same age lah.
Okay.
But I think it'd be more interesting to share. Because I had this friend, right? At that point of time, he was 22, but he was dating a girl who was like in sec 4.
82,
Yeah.
4, 6 years.
So
already.
it's so around 16, right? So when we all found out, like our group of friends found out, and then the reaction is just like, what? So from an outsider point of view, it does seem a bit weird.
Because she hasn't passed the adulthood, like
The
21
mark, right,
lah.
yeah.
So I have a friend who's dating someone younger than her, about 3 to 4 years, can't really remember. And I think it's actually her happiest relationship. So age is just a number. I had a younger guy, like, try to like go after me. He's very sweet, just maturity-wise, not on the same level. The younger guy in question that I mentioned is still like fun and games and like...
Yeah.
So, I just want to see a future lah.
I don't particularly choose to date younger guys. It's just that I happen to date guys who are always younger than me. And maybe it's my social circle also. And also because like last time when I used Tinder, right, then my age range, like because if I'm 24, my age range is like 2 years younger. So somehow I always swipe to like 22, 23 year old. My ex-boyfriend was younger than me by 2 years, and then I did date a guy who's 1 year younger than me also. I think that the life stage thing is very true because he was in uni and then I'm working already, right? So a lot of times very hard to meet. The things he talks about, I feel that I went through that already. So it kind of makes me a bit like, sian, I need to talk about this again. Like, no offense, I'm willing to talk to you, but if it's things that are like I'm not particularly interested in, or something I've really been through like for 4 years of my life. I don't want to relive my nightmare. Yeah, then that's probably why I was a bit cannot relate on that level. So I think one issue when you date someone who's younger than you for a girl, right? Your friends always just like, huh? You sure not? You know what I mean? Right? It's like, huh? Why?
That's
like,
the first thought everyone like hate. Everyone's hate will land on, right?
Yeah.
my family was just like, again. But I think my mom just like, do whatever you want lah. Honestly, I think my parents are very liberal, that's why. But for some parents who are a bit more conservative, I think they'll be a bit skeptical. Like, they always be like, this one can have future one or not? You sure?
Yeah.
Like, they always think about it in a long term.
It's true. It's true.
So there's this common expectation that the girl has to date a guy that is older, right? Why do you think this is the case?
I feel like it's a very outdated social mindset. Singapore, unfortunately, as much as we're trying to be progressive, right, it's still governed by a lot of conservative and I would say to the point of outdated values lah. Most of the time, when will people encounter their partners is most of the time due to proximity, school or work. If you don't date someone of the same age during like let's say pre-NS time, you will always be in the same stage of life as a guy that is 2 years older than you. A lot of times you find that girls married young, guys married after they work. It's always a younger lady and an older guy. So this is something I just feel like it's outdated.
In the past, women don't work, they stay at
Yes.
home. So the man has to work, so the man has to be
Of a certain age to work. Yeah.
to work and support the family.
The priorities were different back then lah. So I think that with the shifting of priorities, the values should shift as well.
When times are changing now, I feel that it's okay for girls to date younger guys because they themselves are more established. More like whether both of them can like cooperate and support each other. And every time I attend like my family gatherings and all that, right, the aunties will always say to like my nieces and my like female cousins, the younger ones, find a guy who's in NS already or already gonna complete NS.
I feel that right. The real reason why people tell people to date guys who have gone through NS, right, is because guys mature a lot after NS.
Not only army, it must go through uni also. Because I think their world mindset may not be as broad as like someone who has experienced it. Another thing that we never mentioned yet is maturity. A lot of people say that the reason why this is the case is because guys mature slower than girls.
Yeah.
Do you think it's true?
I think,
Coming from you.
I think it's an overarching statement, but it's kind of true lah. Okay.
Hey, I never say one.
Guys are very, very, very good at having rowdy fun. Most of the time, the actions from rowdy fun are immature.
It's not really about rowdy fun, it's about that guy's perception of life.
I feel that girls decide this goal or what they want to achieve in their life earlier than guys.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they tend to go for older guys because I guess their goals are aligned. There's this other stereotype, right, that girls dating younger guys is not as attractive. Like it's a very negative connotation to it.
Does that make the girl look very old?
I think that is the impression that it first gives off. But like, I've never actually encountered someone that fits that mold.
Yeah.
Or a couple that fits that mold. But I still feel there's nothing wrong with that.
But I think you know why it's unattractive, right? When people look at it, they'll be like, this guy can take care of you, man.
I think one of the major determining factors, right? Most of the time, the age carries with it the thinking that, oh, this person less mature, hence, right, less secure. Insecurity is a big relationship killer.
The point about him being very young and him wanting to experience a lot of things in life, or you want to do that also, right? There's also a line that you draw when you're older. Cougars, you say like 40 plus year old versus like 20 something year old, right? That one is much more different. People will say that you're dating your mother lah, that kind of thing. If a girl who is 20 dates a guy who's like 40, it's not like you're dating your father. It's more of like you're just dating a very mature person. For example, celebrity relationships, for example, Demi Moore dating Ashton Kutcher, right? That age difference was like, I don't know, 20 plus years or some shit like that lah. She was like 40 plus, he was like 20 plus, right? This kind of relationship is what I think we are talking about in terms of like girls dating younger guys as unattractive. Your opinions on that?
I don't feel like it's unattractive lah, but I think people look at it like that is because they feel like, oh, the lady is trying to take advantage of something. It's back to what we were saying before lah, like how men and women like
The expectation is
differently.
different. Yeah, correct.
I think it works both ways also. Like, if the guy is much older than the girl, right, it can go two ways. One is like, oh, you found somebody mature, stable. Or it could go like, wow, this uncle chikope.
So any advice for girls maybe who are dating younger guys and are facing a lot of like negative criticism from people, or if for girls who want to just date younger guys in general?
Guys who want to date older girls, girls who want to date younger guys, you do you. Frankly speaking, right, like we were talking about how the priorities of a society has sort of changed. You live in a world with more options now, right? This should be reflected in your dating options as well.
What you guys think of yourself slowly will become how you guys portray each other.
All these rules, it's just what we are used to growing up. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean it's wrong. Society as a whole, we've progressed to the point where, love is just love lah. You just go love whoever you want, many forms, any form.
I think my advice is coming from someone who has dated younger guys before, right? I think stage of life is temporary,
Yeah.
and also it's a thing that people say as an excuse not to even try it out in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's not like they conform to all your interests. You have to be open to their schedule and what they are currently doing.
Today we talked about girls dating younger guys and guys dating older girls. And from this, we concluded that
Don't judge people, just go out there and find yourself a partner.
So if you guys have any experiences, feel free to leave it in the comments and also let us know what else to talk about next time.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Bye!
Bye.